Hi. I've been running a reflective space in the local primary school, Ashcroft, for the last 2 years in various forms. And it's based on the material from prayer spaces in schools. And it's just worked really well. I've adapted it so that it's accessible for all the different faiths that we have in the primary school. And I've done year 6 transition spaces within that, it's every Thursday lunchtime, so I go in and almost chaplain that space, and the children come in off the playground and do activities, and we chat, and it's just been a really, really brilliant space to be able to hold for those children. Before the summer, though, the head was going off on maternity leave, so we're facing a temporary head for the next year, and I wasn't getting any response to emails, which was starting to become a bit of a concern. So lots of prayer into how the next steps would actually happen. Today's an inset day in school. Tomorrow is the day that the children come in, and it's a Thursday, my usual day to go into school. So today I decided to pop into school and actually see if I could talk to the head. So on the advice of another amazing curate, she said, take some chocolates. So I got one of those big boxes of Roses chocolates, and I did a card just telling the staff that Symphony Moor Church is praying for them, and went up to school, not knowing whether anyone would answer the buzzer, whether the reception staff would be in on an inset day, just feeling a little bit as if this space was falling away from us, that this door was closing. I pulled up in a side road and a car pulled up behind me within literally a couple of seconds. And as I got out the car, the lady who'd pulled up behind me got out, and she's a lady from our estate who I know and who is a dinner lady in the school. So we were chatting, and she was saying, oh, what are you up to? So I said, oh, I'm just taking these chocolates into school. So the first hurdle was just removed immediately because she took me into school. And as I walked into the foyer with her, the year 6 teacher was there who I've done the transition spaces with, and she was like, oh, hi Fiona, how are you? We had a little chat, and then the head walked in, the new temporary head, who I have met before, so he knows who I am, he knows what I'm about. And I had worried that maybe he wasn't as open to having me in school. But he said, oh, Fiona, lovely to see you. So I just said, I bought chocolates for the staff. And he said, oh, let's put them in the staff room. And we walked across the hall. And I said, oh, just praying for you that everything goes well in the new term, and that you settle in well to the role this year. And chatted to another couple of teachers as I went into the staff room with the chocolates. He'd gone back to the foyer, so as I walked back across the hall, came to the foyer, and he was just stood there, and I said, oh, any chance I could pop in at some time at your convenience and talk about whether we can set up the reflective space again this year, because there'd been building works, so the space I'd had before the summer was no longer actually there. It had been turned into or drawn into a classroom. And he said, yeah, are you free tomorrow afternoon? And I said, I am. So he said, come in, 1:30. So wow, what an answer to prayer. And it just reminded me that our own fears and anxieties, the things we think when doors are closing or things are stopping, that we just need to pray. And if the door is meant to be opened, God will open it. If he's going to keep it open, God will keep it open. But just pray. Pray, 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 and get others to pray alongside you as well. I'm just so pleased that tomorrow I'm going in to have that conversation, and I've thought through how flexible I can make that space for them when space is of a premium. So just thinking through how it might be different to the space I've had before, but how I can adapt and what I can offer, and offer massive flexibility so that we can just serve that school and those children. Thanks for listening.